This skilled and beautiful factory worker in a German factory is creating the interior of the Porsche 918 Spyder hypercar. On purpose, only a limited number of these plug-in hybrid cars were made, exactly 918. Right now you are watching the saddlery department, where pre-prepared leather parts are being fitted onto individual interior components. This Zuffenhausen factory in Stuttgart employs about 7,800 people. But the production of this hypercar wasn't part of a traditional mass production line. It was more like a high-tech artisan workshop with 100 highly trained technicians working in clean, minimalistic conditions. The original purchase price was around $850,000, but today the value is about $1.6 million. The total engine power is 890 horsepower, and it is driven by 2 electric motors with a top speed of 211 miles per hour. The 918 Spyder was hand-assembled in a dedicated production hall exclusively at Porsche's headquarters in Stuttgart-Zuffenhausen, Germany. Each person was responsible for one station, and there was no automation in the actual vehicle assembly. This ensured maximum quality control and human oversight. Porsche 918 Spyder is part of the holy trinity of hypercars, with the McLaren P1 and Ferrari LaFerrari. Each car took around 100 hours to build. Production ran from 2013 to mid-2015 and was sold out before production ended. Precision torquing of every bolt to exact specifications, each step digitally recorded and quality checked. All of these cars have a mid-mounted V8 engine. The 9,150 RPM is very high for a road-going V8. The front axle motor has 130 horsepower, and the rear axle motor has 156 horsepower. You are now watching the assembly of this engine from over 10 years ago. This engine was inspired by Porsche's motorsport heritage, particularly the RS Spyder LMP2 race car. Unlike conventional mass-produced engines, this power plant was built with extreme precision and minimal automation, more like a race engine than a typical road car unit. You are currently observing the transfer of the car's monocoque. The entire car is built on a carbon fiber reinforced polymer monocoque, which is both ultralight and incredibly strong. The carbon fiber reinforced polymer monocoque tub was built in-house, which is rare. Most manufacturers outsource carbon fiber work. Now you are looking at the process of installing the front and rear windows. These workers in white gloves simply place the window into the frame, and with the help of ultra-strong glue, it is attached. There was no moving conveyor belt. Instead, the 918 chassis was placed on a rolling cart and moved from one precisely organized station to another. Each of the 30 workstations was carefully designed for ergonomics and perfection, and each assembly step was digitally recorded for traceability. Every Porsche 918 Spyder was carefully inspected through a series of quality checks. These included testing the car on a rolling road dynamometer, checking for water tightness, using 360-degree camera inspections, and having the final inspection documents personally signed by the technician responsible. This car, together with the Porsche 963, are the only hypercars made by Porsche. Reviewers awarded the 918 Spyder a 5-star rating, noting its superior performance on the track, surpassing competitors like the Bugatti Veyron Supersport and McLaren P1. Because this car is a limited production hybrid hypercar, it has attracted a select group of high-profile owners, including celebrities, automotive enthusiasts, and industry figures. Notably, the United States accounted for about 1/3 of the total production, with 297 units sold there. Germany and China each purchased nearly 100 units. Before being delivered to their owners, each car was carefully inspected and polished. The final quality control process was carried out according to a pre-established checklist. This car, which you are watching being made right now, features the very popular Guards red color, a bold and vibrant red that is both sporty and eye-catching. This worker will be the first person to start this unique car. Every car must be tested on the test track next to this German factory. This car can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 2.5 seconds. But now you are watching the leather shop, where the leather for the interiors of all Porsche models is processed. The true qualities of all Porsche sports cars are made at the leather workshop in Plant 2, Zuffenhausen. The workers there sew and prepare the interior trim and upholstery to match the order in which the cars come off the final assembly line. Each customer can combine the various colors for the leather and stitching according to his own taste. Based on all the possible variations, there are more than 80,000 possible combinations just for the doors alone. Therefore, extravagant colors are no problem for Porsche factory workers in the saddlery. Despite the many possible variations, dark colors, especially black, are by far the most popular. Almost 50% of the customers choose this. Shades of brown, such as espresso, are also very popular. In the United States, on the other hand, there is a strong demand for beige interiors. No matter how simple or extravagant a customer's request may be, the process always begins the same way. The leather arrives from the tannery, located just across from the saddlery, almost bull for bull, in the form of full hides. By the time the leather arrives, it has already been dyed. What remains is finding the perfect cut. To do this, employees carefully scan each hide, checking for imperfections such as cracks or blemishes. Based on this information, a colleague at the computer individually decides what individual parts are to be cut from the hide. A machine then takes over the cutting process using a water jet. Incidentally, the leftover leather does not go into the trash, but is resold to belt or wallet manufacturers. Next door in the saddlery itself, the pre-cut pieces of leather are then sewn or glued into the individual covers. Even if the employees there produce in the same order as the colleagues in final assembly, there is no assembly line there. Instead, there is a so-called laminating workspace for each component, where a saddler joins together the support structure and the leather. To do this, he aligns both of these in a device and then laminates the leather cover so it is wrinkle-free using a seam blade. The saddlery team clearly remembers a special order from a sultan in the Far East. He ordered several sports cars for his family, each one made in his country's national colors, on the outside and inside. And despite all the manual labor, the saddlery cannot operate entirely without machines. After a saddler has applied the leather, it is briefly heated to just above 55 degrees and is then immediately cooled down again. This ensures that the adhesive cures in a heat-stable manner and can even withstand temperatures of up to 140 degrees. This is what the production process of the latest luxury Porsche Taycan 4S and Turbo S looks like. This is the body-in-white process, where panels are precisely positioned and aligned using fixtures, jigs, and handling grippers to ensure perfect joint geometry. At this moment, you're seeing yellow robotic arms at work, operating automatically. Porsche is collaborating with ABB Robotics on projects involving robotics, but not for the manufacturing of Porsche vehicles themselves. Robotic arms maneuver welding guns equipped with electrodes that press metal sheets together. The Taycan is built in a brand new 150,000 square foot assembly shop located within the historic Porsche site in Stuttgart. The assembly lines stretch across 3 floors of a 125-foot tall building, connected by massive elevators. It has 2 electric motors and a top speed of 162 miles per hour. It's powered by an 800-volt battery system, which charges faster and is about 66 pounds lighter than traditional setups. The battery pack contains 396 cells and weighs around 1,430 pounds. It holds 93 kilowatt hours of energy, enough to power a typical family of 4 for about a week. Right now you are watching the final quality check at the end of welding. These workers in red company t-shirts inspect the body in white. If they find any irregularities, they polish everything and prepare it for the paint shop. The car doors are fitted by hand by a worker. The Taycan's body combines aluminum and high-strength steel with advanced hot-formed steel side panels for lightweight stiffness. Preparing this car frame is a crucial step for achieving ideal painting and the vehicle's final appearance. You are now watching the beginning of the paint shop process at the Zuffenhausen factory. This phosphate layer provides excellent corrosion resistance and serves as an ideal base for subsequent paint applications. The coating ensures that even complex body panels are uniformly protected, increasing the durability and longevity of the vehicle. During the process, the metal is cleaned, treated in a zinc phosphate bath, and then rinsed and dried, preparing it for primer and paint layers. This step is critical for high-end vehicles like the Taycan, as it guarantees that the body maintains structural integrity. The entire painting process is monitored by trained workers on screens and checked using computers. After the body in white has been welded and inspected, any minor irregularities, seams, or surface imperfections are addressed using a high-quality filler. Skilled workers carefully apply the filler by hand or with specialized tools, ensuring that every curve and panel meets Porsche's exacting standards. Once applied, the filler is sanded and leveled to create a flawless, even surface. This step is essential for achieving the perfect paint finish, enhancing both the aesthetics and durability of the Taycan's exterior. Finally, the treated panels move to the primer and paint stages, where the flawless surface ensures a high-gloss, uniform finish that highlights the Taycan's design lines. Last year, Taycan deliveries declined to 20,800 units, approximately half of the previous year's total. This reduction in deliveries has led Porsche to adjust production plans, including potential shifts in manufacturing schedules and staffing. The overall adoption of electric vehicles, EVs, has been progressing more slowly than anticipated. The weakening economic conditions in these regions have affected consumer purchasing power and demand for luxury vehicles, including the Taycan. Porsche has been focusing on optimizing its product lineup and production strategies. This includes adjustments to manufacturing schedules and staffing to align with current market demands and to ensure the sustainability of its operations. Despite the integration of advanced technologies, skilled human oversight remains integral to Porsche's quality control process. Trained workers conduct thorough inspections, utilizing digital models and high-resolution images to identify and address any imperfections. This combination of automated precision and human expertise ensures that every Porsche Taycan meets the brand's stringent quality standards before reaching customers. But now you are watching a different part of the factory complex, where component production for the latest Porsche Taycan takes place. The factory runs completely networked, with humans and machines constantly communicating through a central system. The rotor and stator are secured with extremely powerful permanent magnets, creating a rotary pulse for propulsion. The Taycan uses hairpin copper winding instead of round wire, allowing 70% copper fill for higher efficiency and better heat dissipation. The rear motor produces up to 335 kilowatts, and the front motor slightly less, both combined for 761 horsepower. The car uses a power inverter to convert the battery's DC current to AC for the motors. The battery is built step by step. First, individual lithium-ion cells are put together into small units called modules. These modules are then combined into one large battery pack. The battery is placed inside an aluminum frame, which helps keep it cool and also makes the car's structure stronger. All the electrical connections are safely covered and color-coded. Orange wires are used for high-voltage parts to ensure safety and easy identification. The car's electrical system is powered by a complex wiring harness that weighs about 77 to 88 pounds. It delivers power and signals to every electronic part of the vehicle. Every component undergoes rigorous quality checks, including automated measurements, visual inspections, and functional tests. Motors and battery packs are tested on end-of-line test benches, simulating real driving conditions to ensure reliability and performance. Once produced, components are transported to the final assembly line via automated guided vehicles. The precise coordination between component production and assembly ensures that every Taycan meets Porsche's high standards for safety, performance, and luxury. This new Porsche 4.0 plant cost around $750 million using high-tech robots and networked human workers. The stator consists of laminated steel sheets with slots that hold high-density copper windings. The copper conductors are carefully inserted, ensuring no gaps or misalignment which could reduce motor performance or lifespan. The magnets are inserted with millimeter-level precision to prevent any imbalance or movement. The rotor is carefully aligned with the stator during assembly. The gap between rotor and stator is only fractions of a millimeter to optimize performance and efficiency. Stator and rotor are assembled in a secure, climate-controlled booth to prevent contamination and ensure exact positioning. Both components are clamped and fixed rigidly during assembly to withstand the strong magnetic forces that occur when the motor runs at high speeds, up to 16,000 revolutions per minute in tests. The precise rotor-stator construction allows the Taycan motors to deliver up to 761 horsepower in the Turbo S version. High copper fill and tight tolerances increase efficiency, range, and reproducibility of performance, even under extreme conditions. Parts like the dashboard, steering column, and infotainment system are pre-assembled in modules so they can be installed quickly and easily. We are now moving to the main assembly line, where the entire car will be put together. The Taycan is offered with an optional fixed panoramic glass roof that spans nearly the entire cabin. Porsche also introduced the panoramic roof with variable light control, which allows drivers to adjust the transparency electronically using liquid crystal technology. The roof window is made from laminated safety glass, which consists of 2 layers of glass bonded with a plastic interlayer. This ensures strength, shatter resistance, and safety in case of impact. The main assembly line at Porsche's Zuffenhausen plant is where thousands of individually produced components come together to form a complete Taycan. It is a carefully synchronized process that combines automation, human craftsmanship, and precision logistics. At this stage, the Taycan is just an empty shell. The task of the line is to transform it into a fully functional electric sports car. The Taycan's lithium-ion battery pack sits low in the floor, forming the backbone of the car. Inside the pack are 33 modules, each with 12 pouch cells, connected in series and parallel to deliver both high voltage and high current. The floor-mounted battery connects to the front and rear axles, including the motors. Together, they form the chassis, which is then joined from below with the upper body. Brakes, shock absorbers, and suspension parts are only put on after the body and chassis are joined together, making sure everything fits perfectly. Battery, motors, and powertrain undergo rigorous assembly, testing, and marriage with the chassis. Every component is carefully fitted by humans, especially moving parts like doors, seats, and the dashboard. There are no conveyor belts here. Cars move via autonomous guided vehicles. A GVS uses QR codes and Wi-Fi to navigate the plant and transport car bodies. On Porsche's configurator, the Taycan 4S is shown with several wheel designs and sizes, with the 19-inch Taycan Aero wheels as the standard option. During development, the car is driven over 3.7 million miles in total testing. Engineers test for wind noise, tire noise, and even sounds from the air conditioning system in special soundproof rooms to make sure the cabin stays quiet. Each Taycan goes through wind noise, leak, and quality tests. Over 500 points are checked before leaving the factory. This is what a professional quality control inspector looks like in the illuminated LED tunnel. He checks every detail of the car and guarantees the quality of each vehicle that passes through his hands. This is how the assembly of the previous generation Porsche Taycan looked, which sold more than the newest one. Porsche's history with electric vehicles goes back to Ferdinand Porsche in 1898 with the Egger-Lohner electric car. The Taycan benefits from hybrid and racing tech, including lessons from the 919 hybrid Evo race car. This represents Porsche's first fully electric sports car production, aiming to combine tradition, performance, and future-oriented technology. At the Taycan production line, robotic arms perform most of the welding tasks for the body in white. They handle high-precision spot welding, laser welding, and adhesive bonding to join metal panels. Robots ensure consistent quality, perfect alignment, and tight tolerances that are difficult to achieve manually. For areas requiring seamless joints or minimal heat distortion, lasers are used. Lasers allow very narrow, strong welds, especially on complex curves and thin materials. Now, workers remove any dirt, oils, or residues from welding and assembly. Some structural parts are also joined using industrial adhesives, applied automatically by robots. You are now watching the start of the body in white being dipped into the bath. The paint process includes a cathodic dip bath to ensure perfect adhesion, with paint layers just 20 micrometers thick, half a human hair. The BIW is immersed in a cathodic dip bath, a large tank filled with electrically charged water-based primer. The car body is given a negative electrical charge. The paint in the bath has a positive charge. Because opposite charges attract, the paint sticks evenly to every part of the car body, even in small corners and hard-to-reach areas. This process protects the car body from rust, adds a smooth and even primer layer that's about half as thick as a human hair, and helps the next layers of paint stick better. A clear coat is added on top to protect the paint from UV rays, scratches, and chemical exposure. The clear coat also gives the car its glossy, premium finish. Finally, the body is baked again to cure the clear coat completely. Highly trained inspectors watch the process both on screens and directly on the production floor. They make sure the paint covers the car evenly, the color is correct, and the finish is smooth without any defects. If they find any problems, they fix them before the car moves on to final assembly. Workers must avoid skin creams, hairspray, deodorant, or lipstick that could compromise paint adhesion. As of the latest available data, approximately 18.4% of Porsche's global workforce is female, with a notable increase in the proportion of women in leadership roles. In European and North American factories, women can make up 20 to 30% or more of quality control and inspection teams, though this varies widely by manufacturer. This part of the factory complex is dedicated to the production of Taycan engines. In 2023, Porsche delivered 40,629 Taycans, marking a 17% increase from the previous year and accounting for 12.7% of the brand's total deliveries. In 2023, the Taycan accounted for 10% of Porsche's US sales, with 7,500 units delivered, reflecting a 4% increase from 2022. But in 2024, sales decreased to 6,284 units, indicating a 16.9% decline compared to the previous year. The Taycan offers exceptional acceleration and handling, staying true to Porsche's performance heritage. It boasts a sleek and modern design, appealing to luxury sports car enthusiasts. Equipped with advanced infotainment and driver assistance systems, the Taycan provides a high-tech driving experience. The Taycan's high price makes it less accessible to a wider range of customers. While it's great for everyday use, its driving range might be a concern for long trips, especially when compared to some rivals. But now you are watching footage from the main assembly line. A noticeable drop in sales in 2024 also shows that Porsche is facing challenges in keeping the Taycan's popularity strong. Rotating the body allows technicians to work comfortably on the underside, roof, or other hard-to-reach areas without bending, stretching, or using ladders. It reduces worker fatigue and risk of repetitive strain injuries, which is crucial for high-precision tasks. Parts like brakes, suspension, wiring harnesses, and underbody panels are easier to install when the body is rotated to the optimal angle. Porsche is far smaller in sales volume than Volkswagen or Audi, but it is highly prestigious and commands a strong presence in the luxury and performance market. Its exclusivity is part of its appeal. Electric handling robots transport individual components, but humans still do fine fitting, especially for the interior and delicate parts. Before the marriage stage in the Porsche Taycan assembly, the chassis with axles and electric motors is fully pre-assembled on a dedicated pre-assembly line. Both the front and rear axles are assembled separately on a pre-assembly line. Each axle is fitted with brakes, shock absorbers, suspension components, and one electric motor. The rear motor and slightly smaller front motor are prepared in parallel. Electric motors undergo precise assembly, including the installation of the rotor, stator, and power electronics. The axles with motors are mounted onto the vehicle floor, forming the complete chassis module. Wiring, high-voltage connections, and suspension systems are carefully integrated at this stage. The Taycan has storage space both in the front and back, adding up to 445 liters. It's built to be energy efficient without losing its sports car edge. The last steps include activating the high-voltage system to get the car fully ready to drive. The factory system talks to each car to make sure all the optional features and software are installed correctly. Now, using a manipulator arm, this Porsche factory worker inserts and installs the seats, which are wrapped in protective film. The suspension cooling system and all-wheel drive setup are put through their paces in extreme conditions, including ice, snow, and dry pavement. All-wheel drive gives it great traction, and the low placement of the battery keeps the center of gravity low, making the car handle better. Porsche engineers spent 1,500 hours in the wind tunnel, achieving a drag coefficient of 0.22, among the best in class. Features aerodynamic wheels, air curtains, and an adaptive rear spoiler for better range and high-speed stability. The interior can be fully customized, including a vegan option free of leather. Each Taycan goes through intense climate testing, from minus 31 degrees Fahrenheit in the frozen north of Sweden to the scorching heat of desert environments.